Hi, good evening, and a warm welcome to all the participants in today's webinar. We'll wait for a couple of minutes just to allow all the participants to join in and settle down, and then we'll get started. However, we'll use this time, we'll not just be sitting here. We'll use this time, firstly, we'll use this time to understand how you can participate in this webinar, what will be the format, how we will be conducting this webinar. So, this, as you might be knowing, is an interactive webinar where you'll be understanding how to create an attractive digital catalog for your export business, right? So that's basically the agenda. Now, the important point is how we'll be conducting this webinar. So I will divide this webinar into two broad parts. One is a smaller part where I will give a very brief introduction about Indian Business Portal, and then we'll move on to understand the agenda or the greater topic for today, which is understanding how to create the digital catalog for your export business. So that's how we will be conducting today's session. Now, while I will be explaining about the digital catalog creation process or about Indian Business Portal, it is obvious that you will have your questions, you'll have your doubts. Now, how can you ask your questions? So there are two options which are available. One is Q&A and second is chat. So Q&A is something that you can use to ask question, and chat is something that we'll be using for our interaction. So if I want to seek your inputs or if I want to seek understand what you think about something, so that is what we'll be using. You can also use the chat to share information or update with the other wonderful business owners who are also joining us here today about your business, right? So you can also do business networking, tell them about your business, what do you do, where you're located, and if you have a digital catalog, you should also include the link in that so that others can also review what you do, and in case there's a requirement, they can connect with you. All right. So that was how we'll be conducting today's session. So once again, good evening and a warm welcome to all the participants in today's webinar. I'm also joined here today with Prateek, who's a FIEO official. So good evening and a warm welcome to Prateek as well.
Hi, Adnan.
Hi. So, Prateek, let's get started with today's session with your permission. I'll start with a brief introduction about myself, and then I'll request you if you can also share a brief introduction about yourself and uh, uh, share with the audience here about Indian Business Portal, and then we'll get started with today's discussion. Hope that will be all right.
Yes, Adnan. Please
All
go
right.
ahead.
So, wonderful. My name is Adnan, and I am Director SME Commerce Growth at GlobalLinker. My focus area or my functional area at GlobalLinker is digital commerce. But in addition to that, I actively work on educating or sharing information with business owners on how they can use digital technology in today's day and age, because digital is the way forward, and all of us understand that. But how to use digital technology, that is a bigger challenge, because in today's day and age, if you look around, availability of technology is no longer a challenge. There is a technology solution for almost everything under the sun, right? But how to use that technology, that is a bigger challenge that our generation face, and especially MSMEs or micro small businesses. And that's where we try to conduct as many training sessions and webinars to help them understand how they can use digital and technology solutions. And so far, I've conducted more than 450 such training sessions and webinars, and had the wonderful opportunity of sharing some knowledge or information with about 12,000 businesses. So that was a quick introduction about myself. Now I'll request Prateek to also introduce himself and also share with our audience about the Indian Business Portal.
Thank you, Adnan. Myself, Prateek Navle, and I look after the Indian Business Portal at FIEO. as you know that FIEO is an apex body of all Export Promotion Council, which whoever wanted to enter into the export business, FIEO always handhold those exporters, those companies to enter into the international market. We have 16 offices all over India, and any participants who wanted to understand more about FIEO or FIEO services, they can go to the www.fio.org or just check the nearest office and meet our officials, understand that how they can enter into the export business. We keep organizing the more training programs as well as the exhibitions, seminars, educational seminars. So I would invite all the participants to also take a part of that. With reference to the Indian Business Portal, I think we are going to see that how Indian Business Portal works. But let me tell you briefly about that. Our objective is to bring this Indian Business Portal for every SMEs, every companies, that they should have their own digital visibility on Indian Business Portal or their own. When we talk about some websites, that we should have in websites, and uh, we should have some digital catalog. So here the role played by the Indian Business Portal, which allows you to create your own digital store where you can put your product details, photographs about your companies and all that. Absolutely no cost in that. However, if you wanted to be a part of Indian Business Portal, which is core and specific for an export business, you must have the IC code to connect on that. On Indian Business Portal, we are not charging anything to basically listing your product, to connect with any foreign buyers. If foreign buyer is connecting to you, we are not charging any commissions or any kind of an uh, fees from the sellers as well as buyer for doing this business. Our basically service is to do the matchmaking, connecting the maximum buyers with the Indian exporters, and also onboarding maximum Indian exporter on this platform. So buyer will also have the majority of that exporters and good potential suppliers to whom he can basically select. Now, on Indian Business Portal, the foreign buyers can come, they can directly connect to you, they can go to your profile and they can start doing the conversations with you, or they can come to the FIEO and they will ask FIEO to basically find out the potential suppliers for their product. And we are going to see that how FIEO publish this kind of an information on this platform. So my just suggestions to everyone, that whoever is part of Indian Business Portal and who has not got any inquiry, or they are looking for some specific buyers to that, please share with us. We will try to find out those buyers and invite on our platform. The only thing is that we need to understand we have a huge buyers informations. However, we wanted to ensure that buyers should be serious about this particular order. Buyers should be able to verify at least with their basic credentials with us. And also, whatever the inquiry he has, that should be valid for this particular period. So it should not be like that we are not entertaining those buyers who does not have the live inquiry. We wanted to put all those buyers who has a live inquiry, live requirements, and we encourage them to put on the Indian Business Portal. So we are having a back-end discussions with the foreign buyers. We are trying to understand their products, and then only we will be able to connect them. So I will hand over this to Adnan to give us the brief about that, how to create the digital store as well as how to connect with the foreign buyers. So without taking more time, I would hand over this stage to Adnan. Over to you, Adnan.
Thank you, Prateek, for that wonderful introduction about Indian Business Portal. I believe the audience must have got a great understanding about the Indian Business Portal, the objective, and how you can leverage it to your benefit. So this where now I will start sharing my screen and we will proceed ahead with understanding how to create digital catalog. Before that, I'll give you a quick introduction about Indian Business Portal as well. Now in the chat, I was reading a comment that there was some member who was wanting, and I'm not naming that member because this is something which I'm telling to all of you, and that is if any one of you is facing any difficulty in creating your digital catalog, so you don't have to wait for the next webinar to happen, right? We have our help desk team. Please do reach out to our help desk team. I will also be sharing my email ID. So in case you're not getting a response from our help desk team, you can reach out directly to me, but don't wait on that, right? So if you are having any difficulty, I personally conduct a training session almost every day at 5:30 p.m. So you can join the training sessions, or you can connect with our help desk team, and they'll be more than happy to take you on a screen share and guide you. And we have a ton of tutorial content also available on our YouTube channel, right? So all the resources are available, right? Please do feel free to reach out to us in case you need any help or assistance. All right. So now coming back to the topic, and that is firstly, introduction of Indian Business Portal. I can see a few of the participants have raised their hands. So I'll request you to, if you have a question, please do add that in Q&A so that we can review and answer that question. All right. So this where let's get started. I'm going to start sharing my screen. And in next few seconds, you'll start seeing my screen. So just give me a few seconds to start the screen share. All right. So it is getting started. Yes. So I can see the screen share has started, but I'm not sure if you all can see my screen. So I'll request if anyone from the participant can confirm if you can see my screen. So I have the visibility on the chat window, so I can see. Yes. So thank you, everyone. So there are number of participants who are confirming. So I can't name everyone, but thank you for confirming that you can. I can see one of the participants. One comment just popped up. Uh, there's one participant who is not able to see the screen. So in case you are having this difficulty, and I'll tell you why it happens, and this has happened in past as well. So if you're joining through a mobile device like a smartphone or tablet, and if the application which is there on your device is not updated, so in that case you may experience this issue, or the connectivity, there's a lower bandwidth at your location that may also cause this issue, right? So ideally, if it is a bandwidth issue, in few seconds it should start coming. But if it does not get fixed, then I'll suggest that you should log out of the meeting, like step out of the meeting, update the application, and then join back again. And that's where you will be able to see the screen. All right. So this is where I can see, and I can see there is some participant who is saying, please share full screen. So the entire screen, including the taskbar, is shared here, right? All right, so this is where we will begin. And as I mentioned earlier, the first part of the discussion is where I am going to share with you, or give you a very quick introduction of Indian Business Portal, because Prateek has already explained in great detail about Indian Business Portal and what are the benefits, etc. So I'm not going to touch on that, but there are a few popular questions which gets asked. So I think it is sort of my duty as well to answer those questions, right? So Indian Business Portal, as you can see on your screen, is a platform created jointly by the Federation of All India Export Organization, FIEO, and GlobalLinker to empower Indian exporters and to create a platform to create an opportunity for Indian exporters to showcase their products or service offerings in front of international buyers. So as Indian exporters, you are joining here and you are showcasing your product. But that is entirely not the objective, or that is not the sole objective. The objective of Indian Business Portal, or this entire initiative, is twofold. At one end, the objective is obviously to provide you visibility in front of international buyers. At the other end, the objective is to digitize Indian exporters, because if we look around, honestly, you'll also agree that majority of exporters are non-digitized, right? So we also know exporters who don't even have an email ID, forget about having a digital catalog, right? So to digitize them, bring them online so that they can be digitally discovered. They have their own entity, they have their own presence on the internet, and obviously to create a platform where they can be brought and their offerings can be showcased to international buyers. So that is in nutshell, the objective of Indian Business Portal. Now, I mentioned to you that there are a few popular questions which get asked, and one of the very popular question, and which I believe you must also be having in your mind, and that is how will we connect with international buyers, or how international buyers will be connecting with us? What is the process? So there are two processes, and Pratik has also shed some light on it, but I'll quickly show you those processes. So the one process is where either the international buyer is coming to Indian Business Portal, or they are approaching FIEO, or through some embassies they are approaching, and they're sharing that this is what we are wanting to import from India. Now, those requirements are displayed here. So if I quickly show you, this is where you will see the section. And if I click on view all, you'll see the various requirements which are there. And these are typically live for a week. So you'll see the previous requirements are also there. So this is where you can see there is someone who's wanting caustic soda in Uganda. There are interior hardware products solution for Canada. Right? So there are a number of inquiries which are there. And if you are a supplier, you can certainly submit your quotation. Now, to submit your quotation, you can click here, and another form will open up. On this form, you have to provide your details. Now, the if you review the form, it is not like a very extensive details or very complicated details that you have to provide. It is all information that you must be having. But there are a few words of advice that we like to share with you. So if we are just quickly going through the form, I don't want to waste your precious time. So because you are all excited to understand about the process of creating the little catalog. So very quickly, this is like your company related information that you have to add. And after that, you have to input your IC code, whether you have to specify whether you're a manufacturer or exporter, upload your IC code. And if you are FIEO or any export promotion council committee member, then you can also upload your RTMC certificate. Then if you have a store on Indian Business Portal, you can specify that, you can input the URL, and then you have to uh, answer few product specific questions. Now, this is where the word of advice that we would want to share with you is that don't just type yes. So for example, here you can see I've just opened the form for caustic soda, which we are seeing here. So this is where what we have seen in the past is that many exporters, when they're responding, this is where they're just typing yes. And this is where understand what you have to do is to give a response so that the other person, the importer who is going to review this response, they feel impressed about you, right? So you have to share the information in such a way that they are not only getting an answer to the question that they have asked, you are also providing additional inputs from your side in terms of what kind of experience you have, or if there's any past reference that you can provide, etc. Right? So, or if you have certain certifications, etc. So provide all that information. The objective is to impress the other person, but again, don't overdo it like you're adding too much information, like one or two paragraphs, providing as detailed information as possible. All right. Then similarly here, tell us about your business capabilities in exporting caustic soda. So similarly here, again, provide a detailed response so that the other importer who is reviewing multiple profile, they are able to understand your business, they are able to appreciate it, and then decide to connect with you, right? So add as much information as possible. Now, in the older days, people still had that excuse that our English is not that good, but in today's day and age, you don't even have that excuse, right? You have AI tools who can write wonderful details. You have to just provide them an input, right? So please do add the information in a detailed manner. All right. So this was a quick input I wanted to share. Now, coming back to that question, which I was wanting to answer. So there are two methods. One is this method, which I've shown to you. The other method is wherein the international buyer has directly identified you, right? So they have identified you or shortlisted you as a prospective supplier. So in that case, how will they be connecting with you? Now, before that, another question which gets asked is how will they identify us? How will they look for us? So there are multiple ways which are available. So they can use the search capability. They can even search by supplier name or HS code. So these features are available, or they can go through the navigation, which is a very extensive and detailed navigation comprising of more than 4,500 categories and subcategories. So they can go through that as well. and they can identify you. So I've already opened an example just to help you understand. So this is where, just imagine that I am an international buyer and I've identified this business, which is a tea exporter from India, and I can go to their profile. So this is their profile, which we are seeing on our screen. And this is where we can see the entire catalog. Now, uh, as an international buyer, obviously, I would want to understand more about this exporter. One is that, okay, I am looking to import tea and green tea, and this is where I can see this is a business which is supplying green tea. Wonderful, well and good. Now, obviously, before I send them an email or I contact them, I would want to understand more about them. So I can come to their profile. I can see an about us section is there where all the information about their business is available. I can review that, and they have also added some certifications here which I can review, and I can understand that this is a genuine business and these are the credentials, and then I can make up my mind, and then I can take the discussion forward. Now, coming back to the question or the original question, how will they connect with you? So there are multiple options which are available. The most popular one these days is this one, request meeting, which you are seeing here. So if they click on request meeting, they are able to schedule a meeting. So similar to how we are connecting and interacting here today digitally, so in the same manner, they'll be able to connect with you. They'll be able to share or explain their requirement, and then you can also explain or share about your business and take the discussion forward from there. So this is one method which is available. The second method is contact seller. In this case, you'll get an email that this particular exporter with these contact details like their email ID and mobile number, you'll receive that. So wanted to connect with you. So that is this second method which is available, and it will also get added to the control panel or seller panel of your digital catalog, right? So that is the second method. The third method is, and this is something they'll obviously be doing, they'll be clicking on visit store and they will be going to your digital catalog. And this is the digital catalog of this particular tea exporter. And here, once they are on your digital catalog, obviously they'll review it, but they can also connect with you using the email ID and mobile number that you have provided on the digital catalog, right? So this is how they can connect. So there are multiple methods which are available. You can use using any of the method, or they can connect from here also for each product if you have enabled inquiry. So they can send you an inquiry from here as well, which will also go to your digital catalog. So there are multiple methods which are available when it comes to international buyer connecting with you, and they can use any of the method to connect with you. Now, related to this, sometimes people ask me this question that is there some sort of a subscription package that we can buy and then we can start getting leads? So the answer is absolutely no. There is no such subscription package. This is where your performance matters. So this is where how diligently you have added the product information, how regularly you are reviewing your online store, how quickly you are responding to the inquiries that you have received. So all that is taken into consideration, right? So that was another popular question which gets asked. Now coming back, and now we are heading into the second part of our discussion. I have tried to explain Indian Business Portal in as concise way as possible, as briefly as possible, because otherwise we can talk about Indian Business Portal the entire day. There is no limit to it. But as briefly as possible, I've tried to explain about Indian Business Portal. But still, if you have any questions, if there's anything which is not clear to you, you can add that to Q&A. Now let's begin with the second part of our journey, and that is how to create digital catalog for your export business. Now, before I start explaining the step-by-step process to you, let me quickly switch my screen and take you to a small presentation that I've prepared here. Uh, it will help us understand. So just give me a quick second, right? So let me do a slideshow. All right. So this is where we will start with the question, and you may find it a little silly, but obviously it is important that you also have a fundamental understanding, because once you have fundamental understanding, everything starts gets put in place, so you are able to understand it in a better way. So anything that comes after you're able to understand and relate to it in a better way. All right, so we will be spending a minute to understand this very fundamental thing, and that is what is a digital catalog. And this is where I'll need your inputs. If you can share with me, what do you think is a digital catalog? So you can add your inputs in the chat, and I have the visibility on chat, so I'll be able to review and share my thoughts as well. So let me know, what do you think is a digital catalog? So you can add your inputs in the chat. So I can see that their responses have started coming in. Uh, Ashwati has shared that it is a website. JR glimpses of our products, Gaurav information of any business, online showroom, online store, Pranali and Nidhi of product showcase, digital catalog, right? So perfect. So most of you are spot on, and I obviously I can't name everyone. And thank you everyone for participating and sharing your thoughts. And this is where I think now let me share with you what is a digital catalog. So let me first share with you the textbook explanation or a description of digital catalog. So a digital catalog is a computer file used to provide examples of a person's works or products offered by a business in a digital format, which can be easily accessed digitally by a prospective customer. So that is a textbook definition of digital catalog. But in simple terms, because I believe in talking in simple common man's language, otherwise it is absolutely uh, confusing if you are using technical jargons, etc. Right? So in simple terms, it is a website, but like not every website can be called a digital catalog. There are few rules to that, that if a website has certain features or capabilities, then we can call it a digital catalog. What are those rules or capabilities? The first one is it can showcase product or services of that entity or that organization, that can showcase product or service information, including visuals. It can allow that business, or it enables that business in accepting orders or inquiries. So if you are into B2B business and you don't want to generate orders, you want to receive inquiries, you want to receive leads, you can do that through that website. Or if you are into B2C business where you want to receive orders from retail customers in small quantities, that's where it allows you to receive orders as well. So either of the two is possible, or both of them. And the third is it also showcases information about that business, which I've also written. It is assumed because most of the website does that. So that is the third thing. Now, this is where I will switch my screen and I'll take you to another window where I have opened few examples of digital catalog. And let me start with uh, a agree product example. So this is a exporter. In fact, all the examples that I've opened here, they're all exporters, and this is a agree product exporters digital catalog that we are looking at. Now, let's remember those three rules, and let's try to relate and see if this digital catalog qualifies to be called a digital catalog or not. The first one was it can showcase information about that product or services being offered by this business. So let's see if anything is there. So we can see definitely there's information about that business. There are a few blog articles as well, and if there are products, yes, there are products here. And on the top also, we can see there's a product section. So there are certainly products there as well. Let's click on it and we can see there are products. They are agree product exporters. My internet is a little slow today, so just bear with me on that. So this where we can see the various products are there. So first tick is there. The second rule, if we are going back, it says that the business should be able to generate orders or inquiries through that. So here we can see there is a send inquiry. So this is where if there is a buyer who's wanting to buy turmeric, they can send an inquiry to them, or honey, or turmeric powder, right? So they can easily send them inquiry. So this is where it ticks the second criteria as well, or the second rule as well, and it should also have information about that business. So if you are going to the about section, that's where it has information. In fact, it also has certificates of that business, right? So this can be called, you'll agree, this can be called a digital catalog. So this is one example I thought of sharing with you. There is another example that I have. This is for decorative items, and then we have a hardcore industrial product example. This is electrical motors, industrial electrical motors. This is their digital catalog that we are looking at. This is construction equipment uh, sellers digital catalog that you are looking at, exporters digital catalog. Now, these examples which I showed to you, they are more from the B2B side of it, and a few more examples also. But if you're someone who is wanting to export, but not in bulk, you want to sell it to retail customers, can you do that? Yes, you can also do that. So now I'm switching my screen and showing you a B2C example. So this is also an exporter, and this is where uh, the interaction is a little different. So I'll just quickly show you what do I mean. So this is where you can see we are again looking at the products, and I'll quickly open one of their product. So this is where we can see the product has beautiful visuals. It is explained in great detail, but the interaction is different, right? Or what we call in our technical terminology, call to action, right? So what action a customer or a potential customer can take here is different from what we were seeing here. Here we were seeing, let me go back to the product. So this is where we were seeing send inquiry. So a potential customer was sending them an inquiry that, hey, we are interested to do business with you. But here the interaction is the potential customer is buying the product. They are not sending them an inquiry and then waiting for the response. This is where they are straight away placing an order. So this is the second type of digital catalog which you can consider creating. There is third type which I can also show you with this example. Let me see if there's a product where I can show you. Right. So this is where you can see this is I think lawn mower, and this is where you have both of them, right? So it is your choice. So if there is someone who's wanting to buy the product for their personal consumption, they can like do an add to cart and they can buy it in a retail quantity, like 1 unit. And at the other end, if there is a institutional buyer and they want to buy in bulk from you, in that case, they can send you an inquiry, they can do a send inquiry, and they'll be able to buy from you in bulk. So these are broadly the three types of digital catalog. There is one more type, and I will very quickly share it with you because that is also related to a very common question that gets asked in our previous sessions. And I'm not sure if there is any garment exporter joining us here today. If there's any garment exporter or from the apparel industry joining us here today, you can write yes in the chat. So this solution which I'm sharing with you, yes, so I can see there's Sayyid Ali, there's Harsha, who are garment exporter. So Sayyid and Harsh, and there's Satyam as well. So uh, thank you for confirming. Now, many times previously, when I've interacted with garment exporters or people from the apparel industry, one of the common concerns that they had was that if we are displaying our latest collection, our latest designs on our website, then there is an absolute chance, though not chance, there is a certainty that they will get copied or stolen, right? So that is a common concern which exporters from certain industries express, and that's where this solution can help. So although this is not an example for that, but it will help you understand how the capability works. So this is where you can see they have a login for their B2B buyers. So like there are cafeterias that are buying premixes for their coffee vending machines. So whenever those cafeteria owners or cafeteria managers have to buy these coffee premixes, they can come here and they can uh, do a secure login. If they're not impaneled with them, they can submit an application from this form, or once they are impaneled, they can come here and they can log in and they can then place in orders, right? So that is the retail side of it. Now, how can you use the same capability for export? And this is very beautifully used for export and solving that problem. is that you can upload all your products or even the latest collection on your digital catalog. And there is a B2B capability that we have, which allows you to hide those products or put those products behind lock and key. Again, using a simple conman's language. So lock and key means it is a secured login, which you can see on your screen as well. So you know that these are trusted buyers. You can onboard them, you can impanel them on your digital catalog, and then only those trusted buyers whom you want to showcase your product, only then will be able to see the product, and no one else will be able to see that. So that is this capability which you can also consider using. So this is the fourth type of digital catalog, or it is not just related to apparel business. Any business that has this concern of their styles or latest collection getting copied. So in that case, you can use that capability as well. On the front end, you can show few generic products and information about your business. And then all those latest collections can be put behind a secure login and only visible to the people whom you want to show. All right. So that is four types of digital catalog. So this is where we will now switch our screen and we will now go back to Indian Business Portal to understand the step-by-step process of creating your digital catalog. All right. So this where I'll once again request everyone to understand with little attention, although the process is very simple. But this is where now we are starting to understand or starting to discuss the step-by-step process. All right. So the first step is to open Indian Business Portal. How do you do that? So you can type indianbusinessportal.in on your browser, or you can search for Indian Business Portal, and this website will open up. Can you do it on your smartphone? Technically, yes, but I'll not advise doing that. You should ideally do it through a laptop or a desktop. That's where the screen is bigger and you'll be able to understand everything and you'll be able to do it in a better way. All right. Now, once you have opened Indian Business Portal, then you have to click on this option which says register as the Indian exporter, which will open this page, or let me open it from there only. So you click on it and this page opens up. Now, this is a sort of an intermediary page that we have placed here. Now, this page is obviously not entirely useless. It has a use, but it is not related to what you're doing. It is more for your information. So, for example, if you want to understand more about Indian Business Portal, and more importantly, if you go to the frequently asked questions section, that is where you'll find answers to most of the doubts or questions or queries that you may have related to Indian Business Portal. So, I'll strongly advise that you should also review at least the frequently asked questions section here, so that if there are any questions, any doubts, that got clarified. Now, coming back to the journey. So once you have clicked on register as Indian exporter, this page has opened up. Now you'll have to click on create your catalog, which will open another page. This is the page which will get opened up. Now on this page, you'll see we have embedded a video. So this is the video I'm referring to. Please do watch this video. If time is not of a concern, then you can watch the entire video. It is about 20-25 minutes, so you can watch the entire video. But if time is of a concern and you don't want to spend like 20 minutes watching the videos, in that case, you can just keep the video playing alongside, right? So you can open it in another tab, similar to what I have done. I've just opened it in another window, and I can go back and I can continue with the steps, right? So in that case, what will happen if you get stuck or if you get confused at any given point of time, you can go back to the video and understand the explanation. Now, many times people have asked me that this video that you're showing is in English, but we want to understand in Hindi. Is it possible? Can you create a video in Hindi? We have already done that. So there is a Hindi video also available. How do you access that? So if you go to the description of this video, that's where we have provided the link. So the same video is available in Hindi as well. So if you want to review it in English, you can do that. If you want to review it in Hindi, you can also do that. All right. Now coming back to the process. So I'll just use this video as an example. I'll just quickly walk you through the process. Obviously, we'll not be wasting your precious time playing this video. I'll not be playing it. We'll just fast forward and move through the steps. So this is something which we have already seen, that you have to come here and click on register as Indian exporter, then click on create your catalog, which will bring you to the screen. On the screen, you have to input your first name, last name, email ID, and password. If you want, you can also log in using Google, Facebook, or LinkedIn existing accounts. You'll have to click on agree and continue. After that, you have to do a mobile OTP verification, or you have to verify your mobile number using OTP verification. After that, you have to input your GST number. Now, this is very crucial. If you're not adding your GST number, then your business will not have the verified marks. I'm not sure how big it is on your screen. So there is a verified mark which starts appearing on your profile. So it is important that you are also adding your GST number. If it is not available while you're creating your catalog, you can add it at a later stage as well. But please do add. Then you have to input your business name, click on add company, select the legal entity type, input the location, the country, state, pin code, city, etc. All that will get populated once you have added the location. And then you have to click on next. In the next screen, you have to select the industry. Now you can do that in two ways. One is you can select it from the drop down. So there's a drop down which is available. You can do that, or you can just type. There is a search which you can see here. So you can just type the industry and then you can select the industry. So either way is whichever is more convenient to you, you can do that. Uh, Click on next, and which will bring you to this screen. This is where you'll see the various options are there. So this is where you have to basically tell what type of activities you are involved. So for example, if you are a manufacturer and exporters, you can select manufacturer, or you should select manufacturer and exporters. So this is where you are telling the system that I am a manufacturer and exporter. Now, this information is also crucial because this will be used by the machine learning software at the backend for matchmaking. So if there's an international person who's looking for a manufacturer and exporter from India, let's say of garments, they will the system will automatically refer you as a suitable buyer from India or suitable supplier from India. Apologies for the fumble, right? So that is where please add or input this information also correctly. Then you'll click on next, which will bring you to this screen. On this screen, you'll see there is a big blue button called convert. Now you have to click on that, and which will take you to the next steps. But before that, I have personally seen that many members, they don't click on convert now, although it is like clearly mentioned in the video. I have to click on convert now, but instead of doing that, they straight away see there is this product option. We should start uploading the product. They do this mistake. Please don't do this mistake. So now, obviously, the question is, why have we provided this option? So this option is for the users who don't want to create a retail catalog. They just want to add products to their profile. For that, this option is. So if you're using this option, you're not creating a retail catalog, and you must not do this mistake. So click on convert now, and which will start the retail catalog creation journey. So we have already in the journey. So this is where the rest of the steps gets triggered once you click on convert now. Now this is where an overlay will open up, a pop-up will open up, and the pop-up has three simple questions like what is the purpose of online store, how many products, and would you like to have the minimum order quantity feature. You can select an appropriate option, and then you are moved to this screen. On the screen, you'll see there are a number of design options, design templates which are there, and you are given a task to select a suitable one for your business. Now, this is where I've personally observed that many businesses, they get stuck. Although technically, when you're going through this step, you'll hardly spend like 2 seconds here, or 5 seconds at max. But I've seen like people get stuck here, and they get stuck because they have their own uh, thinking, or they have their own imagination, or they perceive it in a particular way, and that's why they get stuck. So one of the first common concern that I've noticed that people have, and that's not a concern, it is sort of an apprehension or something that they understand or they think may be the case. And that is, they think that if we have selected a particular design template, let's say I've selected this one, a B2B template, for example, then I cannot change that. So like once I've completed my digital catalog setup, or after 15 days, if I'm not liking it, I'll not be able to change. That is an apprehension which I've seen is there in certain members. So I'm talking from my past experience. So Is that true? Is that apprehension or a misconception true? Absolutely not. That is absolutely a misconception. You can change from one design template to another design template. Technically, you can do that within 5 seconds, although realistically, because you have to upload banners, etc., that's where it takes a little bit more time. But technically, you'll be able to change from one design template to another design template. So the important point which I'm trying to convey to you is that don't worry on this. If you're not liking it, you can change it tomorrow. Absolutely don't worry on that. If you don't like it, you can change it. The second misconception which I've seen that members sometimes have, is that they think a particular design template is for particular type of products. What does that mean? So, for example, and I'm not sure because these images itself are quite tiny. So I'm not sure how big it is appearing on your screen, but this is where you can see there is a template with like orange headers and then electronic items like TV, laptops, etc. are displayed here. So people think that this template is only for sellers who are dealing in electronic items, which is also a misconception or a wrong thinking because any template can be used for any products or services. The visuals which you are seeing here, they are only for example purpose. They are only for representation purpose. So it is not like if you are not into electronics, you cannot use this template. Anyone can use this template, right? So don't worry on that as well. The third point is a little tricky, and almost every one of us has that problem. Like many of us don't realize that problem, and because we are a little late, so I'm not going to. I typically seek audiences' inputs also on what do you think is that third tricky question. But this is where I'll just quickly explain what is that third tricky question. And the third tricky question is that how do you choose which is a good template for your business, right? It's quite deep question, right? How do you choose? Everyone is looking nice. Now this is looking beautiful. This is also looking beautiful. This is also looking beautiful. This is also beautiful. This is also beautiful. How do you choose, right? So one is like you can close your eyes and put your finger onto it, but there's a solution to that. So what you have to do is you have to go through this entire process, right? So what is explained in the videos, you have to go through all that, and then you have to go to the template section, see the various templates which are there, apply one template. No, before you go to the template section, upload few of your product, at least two products or services, upload them. Then you go to the template section and then apply one template and see how those products are appearing, and then apply the second one, then see how those products are appearing. So you'll have to spend some time there, half an hour, 45 minutes, but that will give you an absolute clear answer to that question. Which template should I choose for my digital catalog for my business? All right. So those were kind of common questions or concerns that we have seen that people get stuck. So I just thought of taking few extra minutes there and helping you understand those. All right. So again, coming back to this point, what are you expected to do? You are expected to select a template as per your liking. And once you have done that, it will take you to the third and the last overlay. On this overlay, you will see your business name is already there magically, but this is from the previous step where you have entered your business name. So the same is populated here, but you have an option to edit it. So if, for example, you deal in a popular brand and you want to create the digital catalog in the name of the brand, so in that case, you can create it in the name of the brand as well. And then you have store URL, which is here. Now, URL also is a tricky area because now, this is where people feel that it is getting quite tricky or quite technical. So the first thing we'll again try to understand everything from very basics, and the very basic is what is a URL. So URL is something that we type to open a website. So for example, if I have to open Google, I will be typing google.com. Similarly, tomorrow if someone has to open your website, then what should they be typing? That's what we are trying to define here. All right, well and good. I think everyone has understood that. That is absolutely clear. But what is this code and then linker.store? Now, in your case, when you will be going through this process, you may not have this code. right? So you may or may not have. This code is also dependent on another factor, and I'm not going to confuse everyone with that. So you may have this thing, this input box entirely empty, nothing there, or you may have some code thing written there, numbers and alphabet. In both the cases, if the code is there, delete it. If code is not there, well and good. And that's where you have to input your business name, but without space or any special character, right? So without any space, you can add numbers if required. So you can input numbers. So only numbers and alphabets are allowed. So all the alphabets from A to Z, all the numbers from 0 to 9, they are all permitted. But other than that, space or any special character is not permitted. All right. So if I fast forward it, I may be able to, sorry, I think we'll have to go back a little bit. So here you can see reliable fashion enterprises, again, without any space, have entered it. That's what you are expected to do. And please do this step little carefully, or very carefully, because you are only able to do this once. If you have done a mistake here, you'll have to ask, you'll have to reach out to our help desk, and then help desk will go and ask the tech team, and then they will again enable one-time update provision. Now, why are we like making it so complicated for you? Because this hurts your search ranking. So if you're changing the URL frequently, that absolutely ruins your search ranking. So that's why you are allowed to do it only once. So set up this URL cautiously, because you'll not have a chance to edit it, or even if you get a chance, if we are not making it absolutely impossible, but you still will have a chance, but that will be like, you'll have to put in an effort to get that change. All right. So do that a little carefully. Now, many of you must be thinking like, we don't want to use this linker dot store thing, which you are seeing here. We want to use our own domain. Is it possible? Yes, it is absolutely possible. In fact, if you, I'm not sure if you were paying attention, these little catalogs which I was showing to you, this where I'm not sure how big the domain is appearing, but it is pepperflex.in, or this is inglobal.in, this is Makaria Electrical and Enterprises, this is hkonline.in. So these businesses are or they have taken their online store live on their own domain. Now, is it mandatory, or you are required to do that after a period of time, right? You can use linker.store for some period, and then you have to take it live on your own domain. Absolutely not. You can continue to use linker.store for as long period as you want. Here is an example where the business is live on linker.store. So it is entirely up to you if you want to continue linker.store subdomain, which we are providing to you, and it is free to use. You can continue to use, but if you want to take it live on your own domain, you can reach out to us. And this is where, again, this is something which I'm sharing with everyone, that when you are wanting to take it live on your own domain, please do reach out to our help desk, because it is not very technical, but we have seen that members get stuck when they are trying to take it live on their own domain. So please do feel free to reach out to us. Our Elders team will be more than happy to guide you with respect to taking it live on your own domain. All right. So this is what we have to do. Now, once you are done, then you will see there is this one button here which says store setup. You can click on that, and you'll see that out of the 4 steps we have completed everything. One more step remains, so we can click on that, and that will take you to the product upload screen. Now here, many times people will curiously ask me that we have a very large catalog, we have thousands of products, and if we are uploading like this, it will take us months. So there's a bulk upload option also available. You can decide whether you would want to upload like this, or if you would want to upload products in bulk in the first go itself, you can do that. As part of this journey, only one product has to be uploaded, right? So if you want to upload it in bulk, you can do that. There's a provision available for that. If you want to upload it manually, one product at a time, you can do that. Now, the product upload process is explained in this video in a great detail, so I'll not be spending your valuable time there. There are only 2 things which I would explain. One is GI product, which gets quite frequently asked that what is GI product? So GI is a geographic indication. These are the specialty products. So for example, if I say Nagpur, what comes to your mind? Share your inputs in the chat. And while you're sharing your inputs in the chat, I will quickly switch the screen and we'll go back to Indian Business Portal and I'll quickly open the GI category. So yeah, oranges. Perfect. So I can see almost everyone in the audience is spot on. So oranges is the GI product or specialty product of Nagpur. Now, this is the geographic indication of India page that you're seeing on Indian Business Portal. And GI products are not just related to agriculture. It is food stuff, handicraft, manufacturing, or they are naturally produced products as well. Now, for example, Varanasi is a popular GI destination and a very popular product which you may be familiar from Varanasi is Banarsi sari. In addition to Banarsi sari, it is also very popular for its wooden lacquer toys. I'll just quickly show you how these GI products are highlighted, and then we'll go back and understand about how to showcase your products as GI products. So here, for example, we have this hanging monkey, and again, I'm not sure how big it is on your screen. So I'll just open the product detail, and this is where you can see GI emblem, and GI emblem is here as well. So this is where if you have specified that my product is a GI product, it will carry this GI emblem. An international buyer can see that it is a GI product, and it is Varanasi wooden lacquer toy. All right. Now, coming back to the video, this is where you have to firstly specify that it is a GI product. And then once you have ticked on that button, then you'll see GI category and subcategory. Now you have to select the GI category first, and then you have to select GI subcategory. For example, agriculture in Assam tea or Darjeeling tea or Kashmiri saffron. Then select that, and then you have to upload your GI certificate. Yes, without uploading your GI certificate, you cannot specify your product as a GI. You don't have to upload it for every product, but for one category, one time, you have to upload. So once you have done, that's where you are able to specify your product as a GI product, and it will carry that GI emblem on the Indian Business Portal. So that was our GI product, and then we have category and subcategory here. This is another place where people get confused. Now, what they confuse with is if I take you to the website examples, so they confuse with these navigations that we are seeing here. These navigation, or here we may have more detailed navigation. So they confuse with these. So this is set up using a totally different capability called navigation. These categories are used for telling the system, telling the website that this product which I am uploading should be placed where in which category on Indian Business Portal. I can imagine this is a little confusing. So let's go to Indian Business Portal very quickly. And I'll take you to the home screen so that we can see the navigation. Now, just imagine you are someone who is a manufacturer of women wedding dresses. So ideally, what you're telling the system is that it should place your products here. So when there's an international buyer that is clicking on wedding dresses, they should be able to see your product, right? That's what you are trying to do. So how do you do this? So going back here in the first category, you select fashion, apparel and accessories. In the second category, you'll select wedding dresses. And that's where you have told the system that show my product in this category and subcategory. So that is the category function. I just thought of clarifying because there are many people who get confused with that. So this is where I'll just quickly fast forward. So we'll not spend your valuable time understanding all these things because they are explained in the video in great detail. We'll just go to the end. So once the product is uploaded, uh, then you have to click on this home shaped icon or heart shaped icon, and which will bring you to the home screen. On the home screen, you'll see there is a big unpublished button in gray color. You have to click on that and then turn it publish, and that's where confetti will start falling from the sky. And you'll see a congratulatory message that you have completed the digital catalog creation journey. So this is how you have to complete the journey, but your task is not yet over. So let me minimize this one. So let me just close this full screen and we'll quickly take you to a demonstration screen, the demonstration account. And I've already opened the seller panel, the control panel. So this is where you have completed that journey. Now, what is the remaining step? The obvious remaining step is to go to the product section. Click on catalog, click on product, go to the product section and upload the remaining product or services in case you are into services. So you can upload them. You can upload them one at a time, or if you would want to upload them in bulk, you can also do that. So that is one thing, or the immediate next step that you have to do. After you have done that, or you can do that parallelly as well. So if you click on store settings and you click on store details, you'll see there is a section called about your export. You have to come here. You have to specify whether you're a FIEO member or not. You have to input your IC code, type of business, proprietorship, partnership, your establishment, business operations, manufacturer, merchant, uh, export turnover of previous 3 years. You have to specify the countries you have already exported to, countries you would like to export to, number of employees, uh, certificates, extremely important because it will give the credibility, advantages of dealing with your company, innovations that you have done, and type of proposals that you are interested in. So again, not a very complicated piece of information. So this is another step that you have to do. After that, do go to my store, and this is where you'll see the theme section and preview store. Using that, upload the banners, update the theme, and once you are done and you are confident that everything is looking nice, everything is updated properly, then you go to the home section again back. So this is something which opens by default whenever you're opening the seller panel. So you have to come to this section, and if you scroll down, this is where you'll see link your store and sell on Indian business portal. This is where click on send request, and overlay will open up. On the overlay, there are certain do's and don'ts which are written, but more importantly, I'll request you, and I'm sincerely requesting all of you, please do watch this video. Before sending the request, please do watch this video. It will save you a lot of time. So again, it is not a very long video. Just watch this video. In this video, we have explained what are the mistakes that can prevent your product or services or your business from being listed on Indian Business Portal. So once you have watched this video, you'll understand the mistakes or issues which can prevent, and you can or in this video, we have also given the solutions, right? So you'll not only just know the issues, you'll also know the solution, how to fix those issues. Please do watch the video. And once you have watched the, sorry, let me close the overlay. Once you have watched the video, then you can do the rest of the steps. You can see all the fields are pre-populated. You have to just agree to the terms and condition, and then you can click on submit. So once you have submitted the request, only then our operations team will review it, and only then your digital catalog will get listed on Indian Business Portal. If you are not doing this, then it will not be listed on Indian Business Portal, right? And this is another common issue that we have noticed, that many people, they complete the digital catalog and then they reach out to us that, hey, we have done everything and still it is not visible on Indian Business Portal. And then when we investigate, we tell them, hey, you haven't even submitted the request. So please do submit the request. This is a very, very, very important step. All right. So you should do that. Now, coming back to the presentation which I was showing to you, I will take 2 minutes of yours more, although we are technically over the topic I've explained to you. The mistakes that you should avoid, there's just one slide. I'll not be boring you much. There's just one slide that I wanted to show you. Now, the mistake that you should be avoiding on your digital catalog, the first is not uploading individual products. So this is something that I've seen that many exporters do, and I'm not sure why do they do it. So instead of uploading individual products, so for example, you are into spices. So instead of uploading each spice individually, like black pepper, cardamom, cloves, etc., etc., Indian spices, just one product. This is where it is where you are reducing your digital footprint deliberately, right? This is where, as if you don't want business, right? So someone has like force you to create your digital catalog, and that's why you have just created it for the sake of it. It will not get you business. Like, you can trust me on that. It will not get. So upload each product individually. That will give you a bigger footprint. That gives you an opportunity to do an SEO optimization as well. And it will help the international brand that has come to your website, to your digital catalog, to understand that you have a fairly wide offering and what type of product offerings you have. And they'll be able to make up their mind and then connect with you. Not adding proper product title. Now, product title is something which does not have a impact in the physical world, right? So if I am meeting you at an exhibition and that's where I'm seeing one of your product, what is the title of that product does not make a difference for me, right? That's in the physical realm, but in the digital world, it makes a big difference. So create the product title in a way where you are adding all the features, specifications, etc. in the product title, or use AI tool and AI will create it properly for you. Not adding product description again. This is where you are compromising your discoverability by not adding the product description. Don't assume that people will just look at the visuals and they'll be able to understand the product. Before looking at the visual, they have to discover you. They have to find you. If you're not adding the product description, they'll not be able to find you. Then forget about being able to understand just by looking at the product visual, right? So this is also a very, very big mistake that you should not do. You should add product description. And again, like now you don't have an excuse. You have AI tools which can do this creation very effectively with all the proper keywords. You have to just provide few basic instructions. Not adding meta title and description. That is meta title and description are used for search engine optimization. So if you go to Google, I'm not showing you that just for the benefit of time. If you go to Google and you search for anything, there is one title in blue color, that is the meta title, and underneath that there's a gray color text, that is the meta description. So it is displayed on the search and it is used for indexing as well. So please do add now. And if you may be saying like this is where I'm not a SEO expert, how can I create that? AI tool is there and you can do it very, very easily using AI tool. In fact, on our channel, if you go to our YouTube channel, that's where you'll find a tutorial video where I've explained each and every bit of creating product content using AI tools for free. Not adding information about your export. So that page which I showed to you. So that's where please add the information in as detail as possible, not categorizing your product correctly. This is another mistake. So for example, that fashion and wedding dress example which I was showing you, if you're not categorizing your products correctly, your products will not be visible at the right place. And if they are not visible at the right place, you're losing out on the opportunity and you would not want to do that. So please categorize your products correctly. Not uploading the logo. Like, would you like to do business? Would you like to place an order with a business that has not uploaded logo on their website? Absolutely not. No sensible human being will do that. So why have you not uploaded the logo? Please do upload the logo when you are creating your display. I'm not saying that you haven't done that, but uh, please do upload the logo. I have seen that people don't do that. I'm not sure what is the reason, but please do upload the logo because at the end of the day, you have to get yourself discovered. Your digital catalog, it has to be discovered and it has to be impressive enough to convince the person to send you an inquiry or to buy your product, right? So do upload the logo, do upload the banners, and set up the navigation properly. I have seen like website beautifully done, don't have a navigation, then how will the customer see and look at your product? So upload the navigation as well. Now, for all of these things, there are detailed tutorial materials available on our YouTube channel and also embedded on the in the resource section, not adding content about your business. Now, the about our export page, which I showed to you, that is the bare minimum, which is the mandatory thing that you're adding. But in addition to that, obviously, if there's an international buyer and they are interested to do business with you, they would want to know more about your business. Now, instead of making them to send you an inquiry and then you responding back, and there's a probability they may not, they may just go to a business that has already provided all that information to them. So please do add a content page as well, wherein you are explaining about your business, right? What is your background, your mission, vision, your history, the client stories, the testimonies, etc. Add that content as well. Objective is to impress the international buyer. And there are a few mistakes which are there on the profile as well. So GST verification is one part, not uploading the logo, not uploading or selecting banner, not uploading personal profile. Strongly recommended you should upload your personal profile or profile pic on your profile as well. Not adding role description and not adding about the company. So this is where I will quickly take you to that demonstration account I was showing you earlier. Let me hide this very quickly. So this is the profile that we were talking. So this is the other side, the business networking side of it, where you have an opportunity to connect and network with businesses from 150 countries. And that's where it is crucial that your profile should be absolutely important, updated. Now, imagine if there was a person image here and there was a logo. This will look a lot more professional or not, right? It will look, and you'll be immediately attracted. This time, this is looking entirely blank. So please add all this information because unless you're adding all this information, your profile, your digital catalog will not be strong. And if it is not strong, you know the outcome. You'll not get business out of it. So this is where I'll now turn off the screen share and we will get into the question answer round. I can see there are a number of questions. So let me bring both the chat and Q&A windows back in front of me. Uh, Pratik, we are starting the Q&A session, and this is where the first question is anonymous attendee. They've written that they are struggling to get buyer of incense stick. Is it viable, or should I target a peculiar or particular country? Will you be able to help with that?
So essence sticks are basically a most outgoing product, exportable product, but they need to understand that every country, and most of the country from Asia or the South Asia, they are into the development of essence sticks. So we need to first of all understand that what is the USP of this product and for which country we can export. So suppose if we are going to export to the USA, then there we have to understand that what are the norms for this particular product for exporting. So if they can write or if they can connect to the local FIEO offices, I think that would be great.
Wonderful. Thank you, Pratik, for that. Next question is from Mr. Faisal Farhan. He is wanting to find buyers of women handbags. Whom should I contact in FIEO? So, Pratik, can you guide whom should he connect in FIEO?
So if they can write an email to us, even to me, pratiknavle@fio.org.
Right.
Let me share my contact details in chat box. You can go ahead, Adnan, for next
Sure,
query.
sure. Uh, Next question also, I will need your help. This is from Anita ji, and her question is, how international price, how should I find international price? How should I set international price? I think that's what she's
So
wanting
for
to ask.
international price, you need to first of all consider what is your basically your product price, what is your freight, as well as what if it is going by B2B, then whether it is subject to any insurance price on that. So this is a very big question. Majorly, if you look into that, you need to consider the freight. You need to consider if there's an insurance amount and door delivery charges. So, Anitaji, if you can just drop an email, we will share you with some points which you can consider while basically finalizing your export price.
Sure. I can see there's another question of a member facing issue with submitting their IC code. So I will request you if you can drop me an email. I will have someone from our team assist you. So I'm sharing my contact details in the chat with everyone, and I will also share it with you personally, so that you can reach out to me. Just give me a quick second to do that. So I've shared my details in the chat, and I've also sent it to you over a personal message. So please drop me an email if, as I mentioned towards the start of the session, I'm also going to share the contact details or help desk. So you can either contact me or you can contact them. If you don't get a resolution, you can also reach out to me, right? So we have dedicated resources available to help you out. So please don't worry on that. All right. So Yusuf wanted my email ID, so I've sent it to him. The next question is also from Faisal Farhan. He had applied for a requirement for baby nappy bags for
Yes,
Korea.
so I think as far as know that Korean buyer have already shortlisted the potential suppliers, and they have also started the discussions with these kind of the supplier. So that is why they have already identified the suppliers. So we can't share the details. However, if Mr. Faisal has raised this query, we would like to write about his profile, his company to that particular buyer, and if he's interested, then definitely he will extend that discussion.
Sure. Next question is from Prem Lata, Prem Lata Sahu. So this is something confidential, so we can't share it publicly, but you can certainly connect with us offline, and we can uh, provide you the required information. Next question is from Mr. Gaurav. He's looking for tea and coffee importer. Pratik, can you suggest how can FIEO or Indian Business Portal help them? Indian Business Portal, obviously, you
So
can create
I
your.
think on IBP we have coffee or tea buyers in past from Oman. I need to check for that, but we have some buyers who associated with us. If Mr. Gaurav Chadda has any profile about that, we would like to share their profile with buyers.
Sure.
I would also suggest that FIEO is organizing some events which is related to exports and which is an international exhibitions. So I think if any Mr. Gaurav interested to participate into any international exhibition, that would be great because Indian tea has a lot of ports, and I think that would be great if he can participate into any international exhibition.
Sure. Wonderful. So I'm just responding to one of the participants. Next question is from Mr. Vinay Kumar. So the digital catalog which is getting created on our online store, his question is, can we have .in or .com? So his question is about the domain. Now, when you are creating the digital catalog, we are providing a subdomain to you absolutely free, and that is linker.store, our subdomain. But you have that choice. If you have a .in domain, .com domain, or something else, you can use that. So I showed you number of examples where the businesses are using their own custom domain. You can do that. You can use that. But obviously, you'll have to buy the domain and you have to buy the SSL to do that. Next question I can read is from Mr. Sikandar Pal, and he wants to understand how can we pitch CIF or FOB? Is there a